Hey, thank you for your question. I don't find this insensitive at all. I love talking about my husband. So my husband has always called me his husband since we've been married. Even during times where he wasn't supposed to, he still had a lot of trouble not calling me his husband. So an example of this is my husband and I legally are husband and wife. Now, a long time ago when I started my transition, I did legally change my gender to male, but I changed it back to female, and it will likely be female for the rest of my life, even though I identify as male. I'll never change my legal marker again. So there's two reasons why I keep my legal gender as female. One of them is highly controversial, but I will still explain because I think it's super important to talk about. Jail. Now, before I continue, surprisingly, I have a clean record. I also, I've been sober, over a decade. I stick to myself. I'm a full-time college student, had the same job 13 years, you know what I mean? I have no intention of ever getting in trouble. But people grossly underestimate how easy it is to potentially face jail time. In the United States, there are no legal protections when it comes to booking trans inmates. This is based on the last time I checked. Maybe it's changed. I doubt it. Most facilities have soft regulations, you know what I mean? They'll base it on bottom surgery, but this isn't a legal requirement. This means that if you're a trans man, you can easily get booked into a men's prison. You can already hear the uproar. Already hear it. If you want to be a man, be an actual man. Face manly shit like a man. But see, it's always cis men who say this to me, and they are the same men who not only constantly tell me why I'm not a real man and I shouldn't be posing as one, but also they list the horrible things that I deserve, or they'll threaten me with bodily harm because of who I am. Which just illustrates my point that it wouldn't be a safe environment for someone like me. I know I went on that tangent, but I literally have to because people are going to wonder why my gender is never going to be legally female. The other reason is just simply because my parents are older, sometimes they forget, and I want to avoid any confusion in an event of a medical emergency. But when my husband and I had to file our paperwork to get married and stuff, because I'm legally female, that was really hard for him because he views me as his husband. He never gets my pronouns wrong. My husband and I have been together for years. We've been married 5 years. I don't think he has ever gotten my pronouns wrong or anything like that. When I detransitioned for a short period, it was much harder for him. It was awkward, and I completely get it. He felt weird, calling me beautiful or pretty and stuff, because he was so used to calling me handsome and things like that. It was hard for him to switch. So as far as being recognized as his husband, that's just how he's always referred to me, and it's harder for him when we're in situations like the ones I mentioned, legal situations, if we have to file legal paperwork, or we're at meetings and stuff, or say we're dealing with healthcare stuff with my family. He has a much harder time not calling me his husband. Another situation where this became an issue was my husband had briefly gotten a commission-based job, and listen, this is true for even cis men in gay relationships. Sometimes you just have to pretend to assimilate. I know gay men and I know lesbians who pretend that they have wives at home and husbands at home, especially when you're in a position where it can affect your income if you talk about, your family life and they find out you're gay. I am all for my husband being proud that he has a husband and that I'm a trans man and that he's, whatever about it. But I don't want it to fuck with my money. Once again, this can be a controversial issue because people, you shouldn't lie. You shouldn't be able to lie about things like that. Imagine how we feel. Imagine how we feel. We shouldn't have to lie. But yeah, I remember when that was an issue because I was like, you got a wife at home, okay? I'm Betty Crocker, you got a wife at home. Say I'm your wife, okay? And he really struggled. I don't know if he did it. I don't know. I don't even know if I know one time he accidentally slipped up and said husband and he was so nervous. But I don't even know if he ever did it because it's so hard for him to view me as anything but his husband.